right, let's look in Buzz and see what we got going this week. You'll see I have a new course in my student thing there. I'm looking at a course. I think we're adding another computer course next year. And it may be this one. I'm not sure. I'm looking at computer and network security fundamentals. That may be. And we're going to get into that a little bit in this class, and we may be teaching a whole class on that next year. Foundations of programming. Let's take a look here. Let's see what we have. We scroll down. Coding and careers 6.03 is what's due this week. And then there's just a couple of more assignments there until we get to the end of everything. Seniors, I don't think you'll be able to get all these. I'll just excuse these. And then we have the final right here, which the final won't include those last few lessons. So if you're not exempt and have to take the final, I've already got it ready to go, and we'll just do that when we need to. But coding and careers, let's take a look at that lesson this week. Like I say, we do have a program, which I've got my program written. I just haven't turned it in, but I wanted to show it to you today. Have some fun with it. Mastering your craft, right? So now if you know all the basics of coding, you're ready to hit the ground running, right? Nah, you don't need to learn anything else. I'm kidding. There's just so much to learn. Here's a little secret. Good programmers never stop learning because there's always more you learn about the code you write. And great programmers push boundaries, try to make it do things above and what you would generally use those statements for. So the fun of programming lies in tinkering to see what you can do with the program. And you can have a lot of fun with it. I was writing programs in ninth grade with a little computer I had at the time. It was one of the early home computers. In fact, you had to hook it up to your television, kind of like a game system. So I had fun trying to create programs and figure out what I could do. So you want to learn new and different coding languages and apply concepts in a way that makes non-coders gush in awe. Right? That's what you want to write. You want to write a program that make people just be in awe. Wow, you wrote that? And other programmers say, why didn't I think of that? Yeah, that'd be fabulous. So we're going to be able to describe basic elements of code change from one language to another after this lesson. Explain how programming can be used for personal and career advancement. Understanding the role and tasks performed by programmers in the workplace, and understand the importance of setting goals and monitoring goal progress. All right, well, let's see what we can learn about that. It's all Greek to me. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of different spoken languages in the world. There's dozens, at least, and if not hundreds, in Northwest Arkansas. Even though these languages have obvious differences, they have a lot of similarities, too. For example, most languages have words that act as nouns, verbs, adjectives, and pronouns. And many languages share similar rules for verb tenses, whether it's past, present, or future. In addition, languages like Spanish, French, and Italian share a common ancestor. They're all Latin-based languages. Because of this, many words are very similar across there. So take a look. Numbers. Number 1, Spanish uno, French un, Italian uno. Dos, do, tres, tre. See, they're all very similar because they have the same roots that they were developed from. And many programming languages also have common features. So once you learn Python, it's not as difficult to learn another language. It's like, okay, I know I need to have an if statement. How does that look like in this other language? Do I need it? Do I need a colon after it? Do I need parentheses? Do I use a bracket? Just, but you know what a if statement does. Just how do I make it work in another language? Print statements, for loops, all this. Their syntax may vary, exactly what characters you have to use, but most programming languages contain similar structures. So once you understand the differences, it makes it easier to code in other languages. So Python, we have define main, print hello world, and close our function. In Java, it's public class hello world. They're naming it hello world, but it's just kind of how they define their function, public class. And then you got to put these little bracket things at the beginning and the end. That's how they open and end theirs. Public static void main string args system out print ln hello world. So this is how you do the same thing in Python and Java. And then C++, here's a hashtag include IOStream, INT main. So it's kind of like the define, but it's using an INT statement. They have the little brackets at the beginning and end to define the ends of it. And it has std C out. That's a couple of these little less than symbols, hello world, with the semicolon at the end of those. So this is how it's C out is kind of like the print ln or the print in Python. So same thing, different languages. So being fluent in more than one programming language definitely has its perks. Some companies use software that requires knowledge of specific programming languages. Like some of them have their own programming language that they write in-house. Some programs are just more powerful in different languages. So expanding your knowledge of programming languages will make you more employable. It'll give you more opportunities to find your niche in the world of programming. All right. So like when I went and got my programming degree, I had to study, I didn't even count. I don't know how many languages I studied that. Fortran and C language and assembler and basic. And there was a whole lot of different languages that I had to take courses on. What's my programmer type? Are you left brain analytical, right brain creative? Glad you asked. There's hundreds of thousands of jobs in technology, and that number is only growing. And as a programmer, you can work in virtually any field. The hard part's deciding where. So here's a little nifty quiz to learn more. What's my programmer type? So let's look at this. You can do this also on your own because it'll be different for everyone based on your answers. But I'll go ahead and take this here. Let's see. What's my programmer type? When you're going out to eat with your friends, which one are you? The one who decides where to eat, the one who Yelp reviews all the restaurants in the area, the one who suggests a cool new place to try, or the one who asks everyone to vote. All right, everybody vote. Where are you going to eat? I would say I'm probably this one. I'll suggest some new that we haven't eaten. What best describes your dream vacation? A full itinerary planned to the hour to make the most of the trip. An immersive experience. Lets me see, taste, smell, and experience everything. A road trip just to nowhere. Doesn't matter where you end up. A cross-country trip to visit friends in 5 different cities. I like a pretty full itinerary, but do that. How's your closet organized? I'm going to say, do you mean is it clean? Because it's not really organized. Well, I mean, the pants are on the bottom and the shirts are on the top, but other than that, if you came to a fork in the road, I'd pick it up. No, that's kidding. Take one less travel, go down one road and come back, go down another. Yeah, that's fine with me. I like exploring to see where roads go, I got to say. I like solving a problem from the top down, bottom up, outside the box with a team. I'm probably more of a top-down kind of guy. Work backwards. What does your perfect weekend look like? Friends, family, and me time. Curled up with a nice book or document. That's not me there. Trying out a new hobby like painting and role playing. Sometimes. Hang out with a large group of friends. It'd probably be a balance. Let's do that one. You have a project deadline in 2 weeks. What do? Assemble a team immediately and begin assigning tasks. Come through the requirements, identify the highest priority. Set up a meeting and brainstorm the best way, or gather a group of trusted friends to get the job done. I'd probably gather a group. What's your ultimate career goal? Become president. No, that's become a terrible job. Let's say make the world a better place. A glass is always half full or empty, depending on what's inside of it. Twice the size it needs to be. It's not half full. It's just twice as big as it needs to be. If it was half the size, it'd be full. I'm going to do twice the size it needs to be. I like that. What's most important work in a group project? A plan, knowing the answers, knowing your style, or communication. Definitely. Which of these activities sound like the most fun? Planning an itinerary for your next vacation, assembling some IKEA furniture, writing a new post, tagging and indexing your photo library. Although I do enjoy that at times. Right now, I'm actually planning my itinerary for a vacation this summer, so I enjoy that. Oh, here's the results. How come I have no results? Well, that's just rude. I got no results. If I hit restart, it'll lose it all. Okay, well, hopefully you'll get results when you take that. It'll tell you what kind of programmer to be. but mine gave, if I hit restart, yeah, it lost it. I'm so disappointed. All right, what are my options? Once you figure out what you're interested in, it's a matter of picking a path that works for you. Continue your education definitely has its perks. So these include increased employability, staying current with technology, hands-on experience, specializing in a particular area of interest. So let's look at some of the paths you can take to continue your education and programming. Online programs. You can take online programs. Here's some right here: Coursera, Udemy, Code Academy, Udacity. There's different online courses you can take from top universities, a lot of them, to learn more about programming and kickstart your career plan. Industry credentials and certifications. There's lots of those you can get to improve your chances of getting hired as a programmer. Certifications are highly valued in the programming world. So you can get database administration, server administration, network administration, cybersecurity, programming languages like Java. You can get a certification in a specific language that shows you've studied the language enough to be able to write code in it. 2-year college, you can start your path with an associate's degree in computer science. It's a great option for those looking to start their careers quickly at a lower cost. So 2-year programs will get you in the door. 4 years, a bachelor's degree in computer science, what most employers would look for. A traditional college program will require a higher grade point average for admission, right? Than a 2-year college would. So this provides a complete path with options for internships and networking if you go through a 4-year degree. Or you can get an advanced degree. Maybe the answer: graduate, doctorate programs, computer science. If you want to become an expert in the field and really set yourself apart, get an advanced degree. Military. You can build your programming skills. Lots of computers in the military. Specialized training, tuition assistance are some of the things that I offered. And it provides great resources. And being ex-military, that also kind of moves you up on the hiring list. People will hire ex-military people. If all things are equal and someone's military and someone's not, they'll generally hire the military person for a few basic reasons. One, it's a thank you. You served the country. Another thing is military people are usually very disciplined, and they finish what they start. They often make great employees if they serve their time and are discharged with honor. All right, careers that closely work with programmers. All right, so there's lots of jobs out there closely associated with programming. So it's a good idea to have some programming skills when you collaborate with programmers. So a database administrator, they oversee the security and maintenance of a database, but they don't do a lot of programming themselves, but they work with programmers. Help desk technician, right? They're not writing the programs generally, but they know how the hardware and software work and can help users. You may have to move to India to get that job. I'm just kidding. You can get help desk technicians here in the U.S. Network engineer organizes and maintains the structure of a network. All right. PC repair tech, that's just no more in the hardware more than the software. Security analyst, review organizational security requirements and recommend security needs. So it's really helpful to have some basic programming knowledge, even if you're not writing the programs. Server administration, you oversee the management and maintenance. Web application developer. So a server-side application is located on the server, opposed to software that's installed, because this will be web applications. So you're not writing the program to be stored on the computer, it's to be used on the web. A web architect creates the outline and overall plan. Web marketing professional specializes in selling products over the internet. Website analyst, where you test out things people have written, test out the programs. Does the website do everything that you would need as a user of the website? Website designer, very similar to an analyst, and a website manager. So there are several jobs right there that are not necessarily all programming all the time, but some programming knowledge helps you in those careers. All right, let's look at this page, the last page of our lesson. Getting smart. We're all getting smart. That's why we're here. Conquering the world starts with setting goals. Career goals are ideas about what you want to accomplish in life. Could be short term, like writing a tricky section of code this week. Long term, like developing an entire working program a year from now. Maybe you want to build a big program. So select each of the letters to learn about SMART goals as specific. That's the important thing about any goal. A goal should be specific. Like at January 1st, you set your resolutions. You don't say, I want to lose some weight. Well, if you weigh the next day and you weigh a pound less, all right, I've achieved my goal. No, you really didn't. You need your goal specific. I want to lose 15 pounds. That's a specific goal. That's what goals need to be. Straightforward, emphasize what you want to happen, specify, in this case, who's involved, what you want to accomplish, where it'll take place, how long it's going to take, anything required. M, measurable, right? 15 pounds is measurable. How will you know when you meet your goals? Well, when I've lost 15 pounds, I've met the goal. So you got to establish concrete criteria for the measuring process. How much, how many, how will I know when it's accomplished? Your A, attainable. Is the goal within your reach based on your current situation? Right. If I said I wanted to lose 150 pounds, that would be unhealthy. If I lost 150 pounds, I'd be skin and bones anemic. That's not an attainable goal. The goal needs to stretch you slightly. Like, if you normally lose 5 or 10 pounds all the time, that's not much of a stretch to say I'm going to lose 5 pounds. It's got to be something that stretches you bad. 15 pounds may be a stretch if you don't normally bounce that much weight. The goal needs to stretch you slightly. You can feel you can do it, and we'll need a real commitment from you. Realistic. Your goal should be doable, meaning that with effort, you can accomplish it. And then T is set a time frame, right? I'm going to lose 15 pounds in the next 3 months. Don't say in the next week. That's not healthy either, but timely. Put in an endpoint. Your goal gives you a target to work towards. So here's a poor example of a goal. I will get a job in a programming field. That's not really got a time frame. It's not very specific. Lots of problems with that. Examples of a SMART goal. I want to obtain an entry-level programming job in the tech field within 6 months. Starting today, I will send my programming portfolio and resume to 10 different employers each week, and I'll meet once a week with a career coach, discuss my employability, see if there's anything else I need to go learn, and I will network with 5 new people a week. That lays out the goal and how you're going to attain it, how you're going to do that, right? It goes back to who's involved, what you want to accomplish, where it'll take place, how long it'll take, any requirements. Sometimes when you begin something new, it doesn't always go as planned. Don't be discouraged. Follow these guidelines to stay on track. Look at your plan and make adjustments as necessary. Sometimes we get into a plan and we figure out, oh, that's not really going to work, and you need to adjust the plan. If you find one of the steps is not working for you, try a different strategy. Oh, I was trying to lose weight by eating more hamburgers. That doesn't seem to be helping. There are many different paths that you can take to achieve the same goal. That's true. And the world of work changes quickly, so do you. So now that you've gotten your feet wet with programming, the possibilities are endless. Students just like you've already dived headfirst into computer science, making waves in the form of mobile apps, life-changing technology, smart devices have the potential to change the world. What will you program next? Well, I'll tell you what you're going to program next. Here's this week's assignment. Let's look at this template. 3 parts. Part 1 is programming. Pick one of the following options. So you can either create a game, like rock, paper, scissors, for example. You can create a different game. Or you can write a short story in the style of a Mad Lib, including non-numeric and numeric values. So include numbers if you do that. Or you can expand on something you've already written and there's a program you wrote. You say, I really wanted to take that farther and do more stuff with it. Or a new program with some interest to yours. So you really have all the options you want here. So think through the needs, like what rules do I need? What's the storyline? What equations will I need? Make it interactive. So you have to provide at least one input statement. Has to include at least one instance. And it must contain one list or a user-defined function, right? Like the main function, define main, that's a function, but that's not a user-defined function. That's the one that Python uses for all the programming. You need a user-defined function, or you can use the list. And then at least one decision, an if else, or an elif. You have to have at least one of those. Display your output, write the pseudocode. All right. Code your program, use comments, Python style, all good stuff. So here's an example of some expected output. Let's play rock, paper, scissors. R is rock, P is paper, S is scissors. And then you had an input and it says you picked R, the opponent picked P. So this would be a random. You need to look up a random statement for the computer to pick a random. Your opponent wins this round. You picked P, opponent picked S. Your opponent wins this round. You picked S, opponent picked R. Your opponent wins. Oh, this person picks all the wrong ones. Look at that. They lost. 0 for 3. Thank you for playing. All right. So I want to show you because I thought, oh, this is a fun one. So I wrote a program with a Mad Lib. I'm going to pull it up and show you. Here we go. Let me make this bigger. So here it is, Mr. Brock, 41723, my Mad Lib. Define Mad Lib. Here's my user-defined function. We had to have a user-defined function. And my function is where I ask all the inputs. Ask user for various inputs. Name one, input, enter a name. Adjective one, adjective. Number one. There's no number. I got to have both numeric and non-numeric. Verb, noun, name, noun, number. And then here's my if statements. If number one, see what I'm doing is I'm saying there's two numbers that are entered, number one and number two. And so I'm to make an if statement, I said, how can I use an if statement in this? Well, if number one is a bigger number than number two, then I have a story, a Mad Lib based on that number. But if it's less than number two is the bigger number, I have a different story. Else, because I have to have an else in case the numbers are exactly the same, I just put a shorter story there. And then I'm returning that story to my main function. So then define main, all I'm doing is I'm running my user defined function, print madlib, which will be the story in main. So let's run this program, have a little fun with it. I'll give you a chance to input some of these in the chat and we'll type them in. So first thing I need, enter a name. All right, what name you want to use? Give me a name in the chat. We're going to do this Mad Lib together. Sam. We're going to use Sam. All right. Oops, Sam. Now an adjective. We need an adjective. A word that describes a noun. Here, I'll offer up an adjective. We'll do stinky. That's it. Oh, fast. I like that one. Fast. All right, fast. A whole number. Let's pick a number. 7. Number 7. Now we need a verb. Need a verb. Something happened. Sit. Okay. Sit. Need another noun. Oh, just a regular noun. Need a noun. Here, I'll do bowling ball. That's a noun. Oh, we need another name. Oh, I'll use toaster if we have another noun here. Enter another name. So Sam and who? We had Sam. We need a name that's not Sam. Jack. All right. Another noun, I'm going to use toaster there. Another whole number. 9. Sam and Jack went on a fast bowling ball adventure. Jack set 9 toaster while Sam only managed to sit 7. That's kind of crazy. Sit was an interesting verb to use in that, and toasters. Like sitting on toasters. Hope they're not plugged in. But that was my program. It was just simply did a Mad Lib. I can make it bigger. I can put more entries in there. I can change the stories. You know, and I just did a short little simple one. You can make your story longer if you wanted to. But I'm just printing like, you know, here's the name, and then I put the and in between it, and here's another name, and went on a, and an adjective. So you just fill it in piece by piece for your story, you know. And so just something fun. Like I say, have fun with this one. Writing a Mad Lib can be a lot of fun. But you could do a game like rock, paper, scissors. That's all automatically got if statements built into that, because you have to figure out if this is better than that. If it's rock, is the other choice paper, or is it scissors, or is it rock? Maybe they both have rock. So anyway, have some fun with this one. I think, like I said, I think this is our last program. I'm not going to guarantee it, but this may be our last one. So if you're missing any programs, go get those caught up. Be sure and use the template, because I want you to get all the points. Write the pseudocode for that. I had pseudocode for my program, but Make sure you answer those questions at the bottom of the template. That's worth like 20 points. That's quite a bit of points. That's a difference. If you had a program, you had a few mistakes, you made a 90, but without the questions, you made a 70. There's a big difference. So, of course, the pseudocode's worth at least 10 points every time. So do that. If you need help with any of that, I've had students email me programs. Mr. Brock, I can't figure out the errors in this. I'll help find the errors and send it back to you so you can get it turned in and get the most points you can out of it. So I just want to see your creativity of you writing the program, you deciding what you want in there, and doing well with that. So, all right. I'll let you guys go. Testing this week, right? Seniors are doing work keys. We got ACT Aspire, all that stuff the next 2 days. So you won't have classes the next 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday. Your teachers will be posting something in Google Classroom for you, but you won't have classes. So some of you I will see tomorrow because it's all in-person testing for these tests right here. Juniors, you got lucky. You get to stay home and work on things because there's no junior testing tomorrow. But seniors and then freshmen and sophomores, you'll be at the high schools. So work keys is all at BHS. The 9th and 10th ACT Aspire, you go to your school, either West or BHS, whichever you need. So, but we'll see you tomorrow. Remember, work keys is required to graduate. You don't want to skip that. We'll see ya.